we will continue our last saved game. Last time we read through some of the dreams, memories, whatever you want to call them. That's what they are, really. Of Kime. We learned where we need to go, to the Grand Staff. We went to Tolson's Inn, so we could save the game last time. Finished up. So now, we did some other dream sequences. Them just yet. We will look at those later in a short time. Let's head towards the station now. Not much for us to see here, really. Need to get to the central station. Is this way? Remember, we came here initially. Beginning of the game. And we need to go back now to get on our way.
It was announced today that parades planned for the upcoming council.
Here we are. This is the station. Now, there's a couple of things we need to do at the station before we start. What exactly I need to do. Walk up in the elevator. Don't need to save a game tonight, we're only just come from saving our game. It would be a bit silly just to go here. Right, there's a couple of people up here. Hi. Here. See what they're saying. She says, you know what? My dad works in a magic production factory. He's the boss of the whole place. I'm not the boss of anything, really. Everything I do for her. He's having another dream sequence. He recalls a memory that was locked deep in his heart. It was in his head. The dream has been revealed. We're not going to do any of the dreams just yet. But that one's called Little Liar. What does that mean? Who knows? Head towards the gate. Thank you for riding the monorail. We'll be departing for the Great Gate shortly. That is indeed where we want to go. What's happening? What is happening? What's going to happen? Let's wait back to wait. There we are. We're at the Great Gate Station. This is what we wanted. This way. I think we just need to leave. If I remember rightly. Let's see. Off to the Great Gate of Bura we go. Is this the way? I think this is the way. Do I know the way? So we're inside the tower of the Great Gate. Just want to have a look around. There's nothing here. Down we go. Do you have to go? So there's a few things we have to do. I have a soldier telling me he lost his helmet. Where the heck could he? It dropped through the gap while he was going on the lift. Yeah, there is a thing we can get. We need to get it. How should I go about this? This cargo lift thing. You know, use it. Try and get up. please screw it up if you aren't careful. Try to get the lift moving. What? Should we do this? Ah, you'll give me a hand. What a relief. Well then, let me explain how this thing works. Wait, you just told me you didn't know how it works. Use the 3 levers to work the lift. Each lift is up, top, middle, or bottom. You need to all of them to the bottom here. The power is pulling 1 lever moves 2 lifts at once. Each lift goes up and down in its own particular pattern. Also, the lift's only a set number of times. 6. Reset. Default position. Can't screw it up too bad. Go ahead and give it a shot. Remember rightly, it's that one. And that one. And that one. That one. Impressive, you're pretty good at controlling this thing. I just think we're working for full time, no thanks. And clear all that junk up there, it seems that we want us to do that. We can use these platforms to go up. By doing that, we will find random pieces of junk. We don't really see much at the moment. The guy lost his helmet in the lift as well. We need to try and get that. We'll do that in just a moment. Once we have... If there is something to find, and so we will do it. See, over there, we have a chest. If I can face the right way, we'll open the chest. Inside we get a platinum gauntlet. Yep. Useful item. HP when defend is used. But we don't worry too much about it right at this point. But, back down we go. And now we're going to try and get this helmet. Basically what we need to do is see it first. If we go in the elevator, we'll spot the and then after that we can do something to get the helmet. There we go. So now, I spoke to the guy about the helmet. We know that there's a helmet up there, so what we need to do is look and see if we can spot it first. There it is. There it was on the right. I don't know if you saw it. It did go past quite quickly. So if we go back on, there's something we need to do. We need to like if we ram this, down comes the helmet. Pick the helmet up, and we give it to the guy. Really as simple as that. Hey, that's a soldier's helmet. Where was it? Stuck on there. And we get an antidote brooch. We needed both of those. They're useful items that we definitely require. Off we go, outside now. Out to the Great Gate. And off on our journey.
Why aren't we leaving? We should have already been gone by now.
We should
I'm
have,
waiting
yeah.
for somebody.
What? Who?
There's somebody else on the team.
Yeah,
Huh?
that silly guy. Sorry, I just realised I need to turn my mic up just a touch so you can actually hear what I'm saying. Well, I knew about the guy, so it's alright if you didn't. It's Jensen. He's a pain. He has to come out with like 3 girls and a Oh, she's got a sack. I thought that was a sheep she was pulling along behind her for a minute.
What the? This is the other guy?
It is the other guy, yeah.
Whoa, baby. What a... I can't believe my luck.
Yeah, he's not going to have much luck, I don't think.
Why are you late?
Can't you tell? A man's got to do certain
That you've been drinking.
before leaving on a mission like this, and I did what I had to do.
He did what he had to do.
Jerk.
Just drunk. Just got drunk. Is that all it was, do you think? I reckon so, eh? He wasn't doing anything else. He just needed to have a few drinks first. That was all.
Jensen, come back to us. We still have that
Oh,
bottle
that is
for you.
so...
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that. That's so nice. Oh, you girls, I'm already missing you. Okay, have just 15 more minutes. Hey, 15 for her, and her. That's 45 minutes. That's all.
45 minutes?
Wait for you, you worthless drunk.
Yeah, we're in a hurry. We've got work to do.
You poor things.
I think I
You know what? You're free to go.
Hey,
Thanks for bringing him to us.
Yeah. Now get lost.
Well, thank you. You're such a doll. You come and play with us
She.
next time, honey. More than
Hey,
that.
They want her to come and play with them next time.
shoot!
Oh, that's
Fair enough.
very nice. Okay, bye-bye, girls. Don't cry. I'll be back. Don't worry. Okay. Bye again.
And they're off.
Great. Just what we need. More useless baggage.
Hey, that's not
Just
nice.
my
That's
thought.
gonna come in real handy. You know,
Useless
you can-
baggage is indeed what he seems like, isn't
Counting
it?
on what?
However, he is a useful character. We have to give him that.
So angry. What is your problem? Hey, you ready?
Right. Yes, let's look at the skill link tutorial. So mortals like Jansen learn new skills by raising their level, but immortals don't acquire new skills by leveling up. Mortals can learn skills from mortals using skill link. Configure skill link from the skill menu. By selecting a mortal, all of the skills learned will be displayed. Select the skill you want to learn and a link will be established. To learn a skill, you must fill the SP gauge. SP can be gained in battle. An immortal using skill link with a mortal can only earn SP towards the linked skill if they're both in the formation. After using the skill link, don't forget to set the battle formation. Skills can also be learned from accessories. Some accessories grant the user the effects of a skill simply by equipping them. The skills learned from mortals will not be effective until you assign them in skill slots. Mortals can use the skills assigned in the skill slots. Don't forget to assign the skills you want to use in here. So yeah, we need to learn some skills. If I go to skill, basically what I need is to, well, let's see. There is something we need to do. I'm trying to remember exactly. What we need to do is equip some items. So on Kaim we need to equip the antidote brooch. The reason for that is we want him to learn the anti-poison skill, which you learn from the brooch. So that's what we give him. Also, we need to give Seth some equipment too. Got a killer machine, so we'll put that on her, I think. So yeah, what we need to learn is the guard heal skill. To do that, we put the platinum gauntlet on her. And there we will learn those skills. Now we have to assign skills, so that's really all we need to do. We can also link up, so we can learn black and white magic. We don't have to do it. But it just gives us some extra things to learn. We don't really need to do it, as I say, because he's the magician. He does everything that needs to be done. But basically what we need to do once, well, once we've kind of learned those skills, if you like, because we learn those skills from from having them, then we need to give that item to Jansen because he can't learn those skills. What am I going to give him just now? I'm going to give him that just to give him a bit of a boost to his defense. I just want to check something. Okay. That all works. So yes, that is that side of things. Now the formation, well, that's fine. We're in formation, so it's fine. That's all we needed, and we're ready to go. Go out onto the world map for the first time. Well, we have to get into this vehicle and talk to shopkeeper Barkus. He says it's rare to run into travellers in a place like this. What, at the gate to the city? Seems like a pretty obvious place to meet travellers. Sure like that run into me, I've got some new wares in stock. Take a look at what I have to offer. Beyond the gate is dangerous and infested with monsters. Best be prepared. I don't think I'm desperately needing anything. Maybe we'll take... How much money do I have? Let's take 10 of those. I don't really think there's anything else I need. We can get some items. I don't really need any of these. So we'll forget about that. He runs a small and humble shop in the city of Ura. That's the guy who obviously his shop wasn't accessible before. He says we can pay him a visit. That's great. We're busy right now. Off we go. So where are we going is the question you might want to ask. Well, we have to head to the Ypsilon Mountains. So let's go. Tell you what we will do actually. Just thought that I've only linked one skill to
This is like a death march.
It's a death march.
Pull yourself together.
Oh really, you've noticed that?
To where you at, we're in trouble.
Yeah, well, I don't wear out in bed.
Once we get through here, there's the Ypsilon range. Those mountains
Yeah.
are steep.
And there's a horrible boss fight that I always remember having a horrible time with.
Unstable. We have to be on the lookout for rock slides too.
But I'm sure we'll be okay, because
I expect to see you take a 10
I know how to deal with it now, I think. Yeah, we all do. Seems to be a problem. What? He doesn't owe you money.
You sure you really don't remember?
My body remembers.
What?
There was a time when I used to rush through here.
Yeah.
I was a pirate. And supposedly I also went through these mountains.
Oh yeah, I can see the need for pirates to travel through mountains.
I don't have any answers.
It's a regular thing, you know? Carry their boat over the mountain.
What about you?
Oh no, wait, that was a film.
You what you once were?
Fitzcarraldo, was it?
Nothing. Nothing. Well, since you're so upbeat and happy, I doubt if anyone will remember you.
You're right, it's doubtful.
Oh?
Easier if he doesn't remember.
How so?
Just that it was painful.
Yeah,
If
I would imagine so.
And my past didn't amount to much. And I think it's probably better to have never remembered.
It's an interesting way to think about it, isn't it?
That's smart.
Kine,
an interesting way to think
There's no
about it.
need to rush it. Your memories will come back gradually. And they're not all bad.
What? No breaks?
You
Yeah, no
just
breaks.
had one.
Yeah, how about some water?
You had a long break.
How about a foot
Well,
massage?
you can drink and
Feed no
walk.
steak. Kime, you up for that?
You can
Hello?
drink and walk at the same time. Okay, before we do anything, I do want to... we can skill link for her. I want to learn... She can learn the black magic skill while she's there. The enhancements, from what I remember, will eventually become learned skills, essentially. But for now, we have to continue. Now, I am going to save my game here, only because we're in a new area. Alright, we need to be on the lookout for items that we can pick up. So that probably means looking around a bit more closely at things. Okay, but we've got a pretty simple path to take. So there's not much we can actually, not many places we can actually go to pick up extra things, but we do have some battles. So let's fight. Now personally, I don't know about you, I always prefer battle systems like this. Hey look, we've got a little formation going. Front row provides defense. I know, that's why you're in the back row. So we'll attack the Kilo Lawn. And basically attack's the only option we have, it would appear. So they've got guard condition, that tells you their guard condition. That indicates the allies' guard condition 2. As you can see, that it says it's made up by their HP, so if it's made up by their HP, they've not got a lot. Yeah. I wasn't paying attention to the... Yeah. Not bad at all. See how it's gone down. I can, yeah. I don't need to read this tutorial, it's pretty basic. Ours went down a very small amount. I didn't do that right, you see. Let's see. He didn't do anything. Now they're casting a spell. Okay, so he's probably not gonna get a chance to cast his spell. So that meant that we've now disturbed his spell casting, and it means it's going to take him longer to do it. I got caught out there because of all this talking. That's better. Much better.
That was a close one.
We got 2 points. View the spell tutorial, we won't bother with that just now. But we do need to look around at all of the areas. Oh, here we go, we can ram a tree. What does that give us? A seed. Any other trees we can ram? Any other... Oh. Gotta watch I don't have too many battles is the only thing. But it can't hurt to have some battles. Okay, so we've got one enemy in the air. We're going to attack this cliffhanger. Spells. Let's play with wind on the dagger bird. There we go, another perfect. And another one. It's going to attack us. Oh no. Now he's going to descend rapidly into our face. It's fine, because that bird should be absolutely destroyed. And now we'll just do regular attacks. That was just good, not perfect. Never mind. That did some nasty damage to old Jansen. But it doesn't matter because it's dead.
What a waste of time.
We're not scared. And Jansen leveled up. I has learned white magic, Seth has learned black magic, and Jansen's learned level 2 black magic. So, let's get on with it. Let's carry on. Well, actually, no, let's just check something first. So, does that mean that I've learned that skill now and I can actually put it into... Yes. So I now don't need that to be linked, I can remove that. Because we've now linked up using that. Now, what I can do is I can skill link with Jansen again. I could learn black magic if I wanted to. So we will. And that's fine. And then if we go... Oh, wait a minute. We go to Seth, because she's learned the black magic. And we give her white magic, it makes sense. Pick up all the skills if we can. And then we can look at doing the next level and all the rest of it. So we've linked up with level 1 magics of various kinds. Also, if we take a look at the skills that are here, the anti-poison and all the rest, we can see that we've learned 1 dot on that. So once we've learned up to the 3 at that stage, we do a bit better. Let's look around. We need to look and see if we can find any items that we can pick up or destroy. Anything up here? Would appear not. No more trees to ram into. Nope, nothing there. So onward we go. Continuously looking for other items to pick up or use. That's pretty much what you do in these games, you know, you look around for items to have that'll help us. I don't see anything really. A lot of these trees we can't get to. What do we get from that? Wind seal leaves. I feel like there might be more places we can get things. I'm not seeing any. Well, maybe up here. Oh, here we go. We've got some pots. A mana herb. Okay. And ground. Is that a skill? Anyway. Oh, of course we were going to have a battle. Had to happen eventually. Or it's just a single... I think it's a single use spell, actually. Right. So, we can now use spells if we want to. We can use white magic spells of healing. We don't need to right now. Do I want to attack? Right, that's on the back row. So let's take the front row creatures first. I'm going to attack that. I reckon she can probably use wind on that bird. And he... Let's use... let's use ground on... I want to use it on that, because I don't know. Although it's on the back row, is that a good idea? We'll never know. We're going to get attacked first by these creatures. Ooh, that's actually quite strong as well. Ouch. Okay, they got a good score, that's not great, but only good as you'd expect. Oh, Seth's actually pretty close to death, I didn't realise that. Right, we're going to attack that cliffhanger again. Well, I guess she can continue with that. And... we need to heal her, because I didn't realise how little health she had. If she even survives. Oh, that was a bad one. I did a bad. That should kill this. It didn't. She's going to be dead before she gets to... Oh, luckily it hit him instead. Right, we're going to need to recover some health. But hopefully we can kill this before that becomes an issue. There we go. Right, so we're going to need to heal. Oh, I forgot the Keeldon was still alive. But not anymore. I forgot.
Like taking candy from a baby.
Good. Kaim leveled up. Right, but we do need to... we need to heal everybody, to be honest. Okay, heal using Janssen. Yeah, we need to look at healing everybody. I know that means his magic points are pretty low. I think... yeah, we can pop a mana herb to get him back up to a decent amount of... Let's have a look at those skills and just make sure that they're progressing as they should. Okay, his anti-poison skill is taking a little while, but he's learning level 1 black magic fairly quickly. And Seth has guard heal, which she's learning a bit quicker. So that's good. Right, let's continue on. There are more items to be found as we run around. We've got to have a battle first. So yeah, we have to keep an eye on our health, because obviously I didn't keep an eye on her health, and that did cause a little bit of a problem. Right, so she can fight that. If I get him to cast Wind, he does quite a lot more damage to these dagger birds. And that was a perfect attack. That was just good. Not bad. Just good. But windy all of a sudden for that bird. And now we can just go all out on attack. Good is better than bad. Because we kill it anyway regardless.
Like taking candy from a baby.
So, Kaim's learned black magic, Seth's learned white magic, and she's learned guard heal as well, which means that she no longer needs that item, but if Kaim hasn't learned... so yeah, we can learn guard heal, which means we can now equip a different item on her. We want to change her back to the things. We want to give her the one that Kaim's got right now, so that she can learn it, and then once she's learned it, then we put it on Janssen so he's protected from poison a bit more. But for now, we've done what needs to be done here. And ram this tree. Is there anything on this tree, or is that the one that we did before? That's the one we did before. Can any of these be rammed? Any on that side that we didn't see or didn't ram? It would appear not. Okay, I guess we're continuing on then. Can't ram that tree. See, now we're going around finding trees to ram into. Oh, there we go, we got something from that one. Okay, we got another seed. I see some pots up here, we want those. Probe, it says probe the pot. We got a flare bomb. What's this? A slot seed. What does that do? Let's see. Grants an extra skill slot to an immortal. Well, we're going to give that to Kaim, and if we get another one, we'll give it to Seth. So those are the immortals. Right. What's down there? What's down here? Oh, we've got a chest. And inside that chest we find 2 antidotes. Oh, there's something else there I didn't notice. A knight's code. What is that? That's a piece of equipment, and actually I remember rightly, it's a better piece of equipment to give her, because stand ready is a useful skill to learn. So we'll have her learn that instead. In terms of her skills, Kaim's close to learning anti-poison. Seth is, well, she's learned white magic now. I'm not going to give it to her right at this moment. I don't think we need 3 people with it anyway, so let's keep going. Up this way we go. Any more trees we can knock while we're here? Something there. That gives us a healing medicine. I think we've got to go this way. Find more trees that we can bump into. I think if they're surrounded by greenery we can't. We can't get close enough, and if they're not, then we can. I guess. Ah, ow, my leg hurts. Sorry, I'm sitting at a funny angle. At a funny angle. It's not really funny. It's a painful angle, in actual fact. Ah! Right, let me just check. Okay. So we can continue on from here to this new location. More trees, more things to do. Can we ram that tree? Yes, we can. What does that give us? 2 magma fragments. I'm sure those will be useful, but for now, we continue. And basically what we need to do is just knock into all the trees. To get all the things. Ram all the trees, get all the things. I think that's what people might say. Can we ram that tree, or do we have to do it from up above? Probably from up above. Oh, but we got to fight first. We've got a fight on our hands. Let's see what we're fighting. Just some of those bird things. I'm going to have Kaim attack the Diacorn and her, and I want him to use his wind magic on the dagger birds to save us some time. That's good. It's not actually. Oops. It was actually quite bad. Looks like they need to be hit by magic. Oh, it's on the back row, that's why. Yeah, it's on the back row, that's why we didn't hurt it. Really, because it was actually pretty well defended. So if we attack the bird, we probably don't all need to do it, but hopefully that'll let us attack this, what do you call it, a Diacorn. That did very little damage actually. Let's try attacking with a basic skill there. But I think possibly the better option might be to hit it with Flare. Let's see. It's going to get us with its magic first. And we're going to have to... Oops, I wasn't paying attention there. Yeah, okay, so physical attacks are now doing a lot more damage. At least from the people who actually can hit it. And it's dead. We probably needed to be a little more careful there, but... I'm going to need to do some healing again. He hasn't yet learned that skill. Can we get this tree? No. Off we go then. Oh, there's a tree. Can we get anything from this one? No. What about that one? Yep. What do we get from here? 2 whetstones. Okay. Why not? Oh, we got some pots. What's that? Barricade? I think that's white magic skill. On Flare Bomb. Great. Right, I think we need to heal. Just while we're on the subject. Let's use his healing, because That way we don't waste the more powerful magic skills of Jansen. Okay. Was that not the tree we just ran before? Yeah. Are there any trees down here? Because I noticed you can go this way. Oh, this just takes us back where we were. Okay, well in that case, we'll just go this way. I guess. We have a building. What is this building? Let's see.
Hey, I want to ask a favor. I'm just gonna
He's going to ask a favour and he's only going to ask it once. Do you think he is? I don't know. I think he might ask it more than once, personally. Will you listen, he says. No, I won't.
Right already. What
Never.
do you want?
Sorry, just had to take a little drink there. Could have muted my mic, maybe.
Whining. Okay. Is that all you can say? Can't we just rest in that hut over there?
Can we rest in the hut? Why? Because you're lazy.
Please, complain, complain, complain.
It can't hurt to have a rest.
I'm a normal human being.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd use the word normal.
What should we do?
But certainly he's a human being. Well, why not go in the hut? What harm does it do? Yeah, let's rest. He's just weird, to be honest. It's the main trouble, he's just strange. Just all round strange. Okay, so we're gonna go inside this hut building, whatever it is. You decide. See what's inside it. So yeah, this is a mountain hut. Right, so we're going to have a look around first. There's a few items here. Like a seed. Any more of these pots? There's one over there. Oh, if we can get to it. What's that one? An antidote? Anything else? Can't really see. So it's all really guesswork. Now let's save our game. We want to just ensure we're prepared for any upcoming battles that might be worrying. Of which there is at least one. The power drink. I can't remember what all the items do in the game, so let's have a look at that one. It raises an ally's physical attack during battle. Useful. Maybe. Okay, we're just checking our skills to make sure we're leveling up okay and things. I tell you, we might actually set level 1 black magic just there. We still need to learn that anti-poison skill. It's taken quite a while to do that, and I kind of want a couple of people to learn it before we continue on any further. So I guess for now, though, that is all we need to do. What else is there? So yeah, we'll take a look at more things, because I think there are more things to look at here. Oh, what's this? Oh, we found something there. There was something over this way. Yeah, something there. There we go. Search glasses. They would have been useful a moment ago. I think. What's that? So that's a piece of equipment. Search glasses. They would give us a status analysis skill, which tells us about the HP and status of enemies. The Hawkeye there, for example, gives us factual analysis to reveal elements of the enemies. Sometimes those are obvious, sometimes those are not. That recovers HP when defend is used. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, she learned guard heal, so that's fine. That's a pretty quick one to learn. So we want Kaim to learn it once he's finally learned the antidote thing. But for now, we'll keep that on him. Let's go up these stairs and see what we can find. If there's anything interesting. Not much here. We can sleep on bed. Or is it just... Ah! There's something under the bed. We received shield. It's another skill. Okay, well let's rest then. I feel like resting's not a bad idea. Hey, there's a bed here. Let's stay here. Yes, let's rest. Let's have some rest and relaxation. And see what plays out as we're lying here. Maybe nothing. Thought he wanted to rest. He's wide awake. What was that? It's a seed of some kind.
Listen, if either Kime or Seth seem like they're starting to regain even a
Hold on.
of their memories, use this.
Aha! It's an item which will wipe our memories again. And then we'll forget what we're doing. What's the point of that? Oh wait, he doesn't want us to be there though. What is it? Well, he's not going to tell you, is he? Hey, it's this thing and it'll kill them.
Oh, hi. I couldn't sleep. I'm usually exercising, sparring with people.
He works out a lot.
Was what all? About what?
You know
I mean,
what I mean.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
I think he does know what she means. Know what I mean? Does. Yeah, so I don't know what that... I can't remember what that is. Some kind of cyanide pill, maybe. Hey, if they remember, we can kill them straight away. It's much easier. I didn't get a chance to have any of my dreams, did I? Let's have a look. Let's see, maybe I can. Maybe it's just that that was a cutscene rest, so because of that, couldn't look at our dreams. But here we can. What have we got? White flowers. We didn't look at this one, so let's look at this one. And we've got Little Liar as well. Should be a useful thing to learn. So let's have a look at the couple of dreams that we haven't looked at yet. White flowers. I'll try and read it out like we did with the others. Lovely white flowers mark the town. They bloom on every street corner, not in beds or fields set aside for their cultivation, but blending naturally and in profusion with every row of houses, as though the buildings and the blossoms have grown up together. The season is early spring and snow still lingers on the nearby mountains, but the stretch of ocean that gently laps the town's southern shore is bathed in refulgent sunlight. This is an old and prosperous harbour town. Even now, each day its piers see many cruise ships and freighters come and go. Its history, however, is sharply divided between the time before and the time after an event that happened one day long ago. People here prefer not to talk about it, the watershed engraved upon the town's chronology. The memories are too sorrowful to make stories out of them. Kime knows this, and because he knows it, he's come here once again. Passing through, the tavern master asks him. At the sound of his voice, Kime responds with a faint smile. You're here for the festival, I suppose. You should take your time and enjoy it. The man's in high spirits. He's joined his customers in glass after glass until now, and is quite red in the face, but no one shows any signs of blaming him for overindulging. Every seat in the tavern is filled, and the air reverberates with laughter. Happy voices can be heard now and then, as well, from the road outside. The entire town is celebrating. Once each year the festival has people making merry all night long until the sun comes up. Most people do that all the time, don't they? I hope you've got a room for the night, sir. Too late to find one now. Every inn is full to overflowing. So it seems. Not that anyone would be foolish enough to spend a night like this quietly tucked away under the covers in his room. You have to ask, why are they giving people rooms then? The tavern master winks at Kime as if to say, not you, sir, I'm sure. It's Tonight we're going to have the biggest, wildest party you've ever seen, and everybody's invited, locals or not. Drink, food, gambling, women. Just do what you want. I'll make sure you have it. So just ask for what you want. My chat is in the way, so I can't see it. Kaim sips his drink and says nothing. Because he's planning to stay awake all night, he's not taking a room, though he has no plans to enjoy the festival either. Kaim will be offering up a prayer at the hour before dawn, when the night is at darkest and deepest. He will leave the town, sent off by the morning sun as it pokes its face up between the mountains and the sea, just as he did at the time of his last visit. Back then, the tavern master, who a few minutes ago was telling one of his regular customers that his first grandchild's about to be born, was himself just an infant. "This one's on me, drink up," says the tavern master, filling Kaim's shot glass. He peers at Kaim suspiciously and says, "You did come for the festival, didn't you?" "No, not really," says Kaim. "Don't tell me you didn't know all about it. You mean you came here by pure chance?" "Afraid so. But if you came here on business, forget it. You'll never get serious talking of anybody on a special night like this." The tavern master goes on to explain what's so special about this night. You must have heard something about it. Once, a long time ago, this town was almost completely destroyed. There are two kinds of events that divide history into before and after. One is birth or death of some great personage, a hero or a saviour. The other is something like a war or plague or natural disaster. What divided this town's history into before and after was a violent earthquake. It happened without warning and gave the soundly sleeping people of the town no chance to flee. A crack opened up in the earth with a roar, and roads and buildings just fell to pieces. Fires started, and they spread in the twinkling of an eye. Almost everyone was killed. You probably can't imagine it. All I know is what they taught me in school, and what does Resurrection Festival mean to a kid? It was just something that happened once upon a time. I live here, and that's all it means to me. So a traveller like you probably can't even begin to imagine what it was like. Is that what they call this holiday? Resurrection Festival? Uh-huh. The town was resurrected from a total ruin to this. That's what the celebration's all about. Kaim gives the man a grim smile and sips his liquor. "What's so funny?" the tavern master asks. "Last time I was here, they were calling it Earthquake Memorial Day. It wasn't a festival for this kind of wild celebrating." "What are you talking about? It's been the Resurrection Festival ever since I was a kid." "This was before you were old enough to remember anything." "Huh? And before that, they called it the Consolation of the Spirits. They'd burn candles for the person who died and pray for them to rest in peace. It was a sad festival, lots of crying." Yeah, basically anything towards the bottom half of the screen on the right, I'm going to have to be guessing what the words are because my chat box is over part of it. Lots of crying. You sound as if you saw it happening yourself. I did. The tavern master laughs with a loud snort. "You look sober, but you must be plastered out of your mind. Now listen, it's festival night, so I'm going to let you off the hook for pulling my leg. But don't say stuff like that in front of the other townspeople. All of our ancestors, mine included, are the ones who barely escaped with their lives." Kaim knows full well what he's doing. He never expected the man to believe him. So the line after this next one, I basically can't read the end of it. He just wanted to find out for himself whether the townspeople were still handing down the memories of the tragedy. Whether deep down behind their laugh, I don't know, lingered the sorrow that had been passed down from their forefathers' time. That doesn't help, does it? Called away by one of his other customers, the tavern master leaves Kaim's side, but not without first delivering a warning. "Be careful what you say, sir. That kind of nonsense can get you in trouble, really. Think about it. The earthquake happened all of 200 years ago." Kaim doesn't answer him. Instead, he sips his liquor in silence. Among the ones who died in the tragedy 200 years ago were his wife and daughter. Of all the dozens of wives and hundreds of children that Kaim has had in his eternal life, the wife and child he had here were especially unforgettable. In those days, Kaim had a job at the harbour. There were just the three of them. He, his wife, and their little girl. They lived simply and happily. The same kind of days that had preceded today would continue on into endless tomorrows. Everyone in the town believed that, including Kaim's wife and daughter, of course. But Kaim knew differently, precisely because his own life was long without end, and he had consequently tasted the pain of countless partings. Kaim knew all too well In the daily life of humans, there was no forever. This life his family was leading would have to end sometime. It could not go on unchanged. This was by no means a cause for sorrow, however. Denied a grasp upon forever, human beings knew how to love and cherish the here and now. Chaim especially loved to show his daughter flowers. The more fragile and short-lived the better. Flowers that bloomed with the morning sun and scattered before the sun went down. They were everywhere in this harbour town. Lovely white flowers that bloomed in early spring. His daughter loved the flowers. She was a gentle child who would never break off blossoms that had struggled so bravely to bloom. Instead, she simply watched for hours at a time. That year, too. "Look how big the buds are! They'll be blooming any time now," she'd happily say, when she found the white flowers on the road near the house. "Tomorrow, maybe?" Chaim wondered aloud. "Absolutely," his wife chimed in merrily. "Get up early tomorrow morning and have a look." "Poor little flowers, though," said the daughter. "It's nice when they bloom, but then they wither right away." "All the better," said Chaim's wife. "It's good luck if you get to see them blooming. That makes it more fun." Pretty slow. "It may be fun for us," answered the girl, "but think about the poor flowers. They work so hard to open up, and they wither the same day. It's sad." "Well, yes, I guess so." A momentary air of sadness flowed into the room, but Chaim quickly dispelled it with a laugh. "Happiness is not the same thing as longevity," he proclaimed. "What does that mean, Papa?" "It may not bloom for long, but the flower is happy if it can open up the prettiest blossom and give off the sweetest perfume if it knows how to make while it is blooming." The girl seemed to be having trouble grasping this and simply nodded. With a little sigh, she then broke into a smile and said, "It must be true if you say so, Papa." "Your smile is more beautiful than any flower in full bloom." He should have said it to her. Chaim later regretted that he had not. The words he had uttered so carelessly, he came to realise, turned out to be something of a prophecy. "Well now, young lady," he said, "if you're getting up early to see the flowers tomorrow morning, you'd better go to bed right now." "All right, Papa, if I really have to." "I'm going to bed now too," said Chaim's wife. "Okay, good night, Papa." His wife said to Chaim, "Good night, dear, I really am going to bed now." "Good night," Chaim replied, enjoying one last cup to ease the day's fatigue. These turned out to be the last words the family shared. A violent earthquake struck the town before dawn. Chaim's house collapsed in the heap of rubble. Chaim's two loved ones departed for that distant other world before they could awaken from their deep sleep, and without ever having a chance to say good morning to him. The morning sun rose on a town that had been destroyed in an instant. Amid the rubble, the flowers were blooming. The white flowers that Chaim's daughter had wanted so badly to see. Chaim thought to lay a flower in offering on his daughter's cold corpse, but abandoned the idea. He could not bring himself to pick a flower. No one, no living being on the face of the earth, he realised, had the right to take the life of a flower that possessed that life for only one short day. Chaim could never say to his daughter, "You go first to heaven and wait for me, I'll be there before long." Nor would he ever know the joy of reunion with his loved ones. To live for 1,000 years meant bearing the pain of 1,000 years of partings. Chaim continued his long journey. A dizzying number of years and months flowed by, years and months during which numberless wars and natural calamities scourged the earth. People were born and they died. They loved each other and were parted from the ones they loved. There were joys beyond measure and sorrows just as measureless. People fought and argued without end, but they also loved and forgave each other endlessly. Thus was history built up as the tears of the past evolved gradually into prayers for the future. Chaim continued his long journey. After a while he rarely thought about the wife and daughter with whom he'd spent those few short days in the harbour town, but he never forgot them. Chaim continued his long journey. In the course of his travels he stopped by this harbour town again. As the night deepened, the din of the crowds only increased. But now, as a hint of light comes into the eastern sky without a signal from anyone, the noise gives way to silence. Chaim's been standing in the town's central square. The revellers too have found their way here one at a time, until almost before he knows it, the stone-paved plaza is filled with people. Chaim feels a tap on his shoulder. "I didn't expect to find you here," says the tavern master. When Chaim gives him a silent smile, the tavern master looks somewhat, I don't know, and says, "There's something I forgot to tell you before." "Oh?" Well, you know, the earthquake happened a long time ago, before my father and mother's time, even before my grandparents' generation. It might sound funny for me to say this, but I can't imagine this town in ruins. I know what you mean. I do think, though, that there are probably things in this world that you can remember even if you haven't actually experienced them. Like the earthquake, I haven't forgotten it, and I'm not the only one. It may have happened 200 years ago, but nobody in the town has ever forgotten it. We can't imagine it, but we can't forget it either. Just as Kym nods again to signal his understanding of the tavern keeper's words, a sombre melody echoes throughout the square. This is the hour when the earthquake destroyed the town. All the people assembled here closed their eyes. Assembled here, closed their eyes, clasped their hands together and offer up a prayer. The tavern master and Kym among them. To Kym's closed eyes come the smiling faces of his wife and daughter. Why are they so beautiful and so sad? These faces that believe with all their hearts that tomorrow is sure to come. The music ends. The morning sun climbs above the horizon. And everywhere throughout the town bloom countless white flowers. In 200 years the white flowers have changed. The scientists have hypothesized that the earthquake may have changed the nature of the soil itself, but no one knows for sure. The lives of the flowers have lengthened. Where before they would bloom and wither in the space of a single day, now they hold their blooms for 3 and 4 days at a time. Moistened by the dew of the night, bathed in the light of the sun, the white flowers strive to live their lives to the fullest, beautifying the town as if striving to live out the portion of life denied to those whose tomorrows were snatched away from them forever. The end. There's one more we need to read. I know these take quite a while to read, but I feel like it'd be good to go through them. It's 1,000 Years of Dreams, and we're on, what, the 6th one? Little Liar. See what this one's about. Nice stories, good stories. Worth reading. Little Liar. Everyone in the marketplace hates the little girl. Not yet 10 years old, and far from having outgrown the sweet innocence of childhood, she earns only open contempt from the grown-ups who have shops in the market. The reason's simple. She lies about everything. Hey mister, I just saw a burglar go into your house. Look lady, everything just fell off your shelves. Hey everybody, did you hear what the traveller said? Bandits are planning to attack this market. Even the most harmless white lies can be annoying if repeated often enough, and the shopkeepers have found themselves growing angry. You better watch out for her too, the lady greengrocer warns Kym. Nobody here falls for her lies anymore, so she's always on the lookout for newcomers or strangers. Someone like you would be a perfect target for her. She could be right. Kym's new to the town. He arrived a few days ago and has just started working in the marketplace today. What do her parents do? Kym asks while unloading a cart full of vegetables. The woman frowns and shakes her head with a sigh. She doesn't have any. They died. The mother did at least, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. She was a healthy young woman who never so much as caught a cold in her life, and one day she collapsed and that was it for her. How about the father? She sighs more deeply than before and says, he left to find a job in the city. The parents used to operate a variety store in the market, though the mother almost single-handedly took care of the actual buying and selling of the many goods they carried. As soon as she died, the shop's fortunes took a plunge, until it was eventually taken over by someone else. The father went off to the distant capital city in search of a good-paying job that would enable him to cover their debts. He promised to come back in 6 months, but has been gone a whole year now. Letters used to arrive from him on occasion, care of his friend, the tailor, but those two gave out about 6 months ago. I guess you could say it's sad for such a little girl to be waiting around for her father to come home, but still. The girl now sleeps in the corner of the communal storehouse run by the people of the marketplace. We used to talk about taking care of her, to be stand-in parents for her until her father comes back. This is no surprise to Kym. He knows from his experience that all the people who work in the marketplace, and not just this plump, kindly woman, are good-hearted and generous despite their limited means. Otherwise they never would have hired a stranger like himself. But before long, that first 6 months went by. We were all heartily sick of her. She was a sweet, simple girl while her mother was alive, but this experience has left her kind of twisted. All her sweetness is gone. Of course, we all feel sorry for her and we take our turns feeding her and dressing her in hand-me-downs, but the way she keeps telling lies to all the grown-ups, nobody really cares about her anymore. Why can't she see that? She must be lonely, don't you think? With a pained smile, the woman shrugs and says, "That's enough gabbing for one day. Work, work." And she goes back inside the shop. Work, work, I said. I think it was more like, work, work. Kai was sorting the vegetables he's unloaded in front of the shop when he hears a little voice behind him. "Hi, mister, you new here?" It's the girl. "Uh-huh. You're not from the town, are you?" "No, I'm not." "Are you living upstairs while you work here?" "For a while, at least. That's what I'm hoping to do. I'll tell you a secret, okay?" It's starting already. "Okay," Kai says without pausing in his work. "There's a ghost in this marketplace. People here don't tell anybody about it because it's bad for business, but it's really here. I see it all the time." "Really?" Kime responds with faint surprise. He decides to play along with her rather than scold her for lying. In this endlessly long life of his, he's encountered any number of children who've lost their parents or been abandoned by them. The sadness and loneliness of children who have been cast into the wide world alone are exactly what Kime feels himself as he continues to wander through the infinite flow of time. What kind of ghost? A woman, and I know who she is. It's the ghost of a mother who lost her child, she says. Her little girl, her only child, died in an epidemic. Overcome with grief, the mother chose to die, and now her ghost appears in the market every night, searching for her daughter. The poor mother! She killed herself so she could be with her daughter, but she can't find her in the other world either. So she keeps looking for her and calling out, "Where are you? Hurry and come with Mommy to the other world." The girl tells her story with deadly seriousness. "Don't you think it's sad?" she asks Kime. She actually has tears in her eyes, which is precisely why Kime knows she's lying. Even if he'd not been warned by the woman, he would know this was a lie, based on what she told him about the girl's background. Kime carefully arranges bunches of well-ripened grapes in a display crate and asks the girl, "Why do you think the mother can't find her daughter?" "What?" The girl asks him with a dazed stare. "Well," he explains, "the girl's not in the other world, and she's not wandering around in this world, so where is she?" Kime does not mean this to be a cross-examination. He simply feels that someone who lies out of sorrow can have a far easier time of it by recognising the lie for what it is. The loneliness of a girl who's lost her mother and been abandoned by her father consists not in telling one little lie, but in having to keep on lying. Now you mention it, that's a good point," the girl says, smiling calmly. "Really, where did the girl go?" Kime momentarily considers, pointing at the girl as if to say, "Right here!" But before he can do, she continues, "This is the first time anybody ever asked me that. You're kind of different." "I wonder." "No, you are. You're different," the girl insists. "I think we can be friends." Her smile deepens. Kime smiles back at her, saying nothing. Just then, they hear the lady greengrocer coming from the back of the shop, and the girl dashes away. Just before she disappears around the corner into the alleyway, the girl gives Kime a little wave, as if to say, "See you soon." For the first time, the face of the girl, with the all-too-grown-up speaking style, shows a hint of childishness befitting her years. The girl begins coming to see Kime at the shop several times a day. The greengrocer is not around. She tells him one lie after another. "I baked cookies with my mother last night. I wanted to give you some, but they were so good I ate them all. Bandits kidnapped me when I was a little baby, but my father came to save me and beat up all the bandits, so I didn't get killed. My house? It's a big white one at the foot of the mountain. You're new here, so you probably don't know it. It's the biggest house in town." "You don't have a family? You're all alone?" Poor Kime. I wish I could share some of my happiness with you. All her lies are born of sorrow. Sad, lonely lies. She can never tell to a marketplace people who know her background. At the end of every chat with Kime, as she's leaving, the girl holds her finger to her lips and says, "This is our little secret. Don't tell the lady grocer." Of course, Kime says nothing to anyone. If he happens to find himself in a situation where the market people are speaking ill of the girl, he quietly slips away. Lies and disparagements are funny things. They don't take shape because someone tells them, but rather because someone listens to and voices agreement with them. A truly isolated individual can never speak ill of anyone. The same can be said regarding lies. Because she has someone to tell her lies to, the girl need not fall into the abyss of true isolation to protect her small, sad share of happiness. Kaim plays the role of her... I can't read that. Raising no objections. One day when the girl comes to see Kaim, she takes special care not to be noticed by the lady grocer or by the owners of the neighbouring shops. Tell me, mister, are you planning to stay here a long, long time? No, I'm not, Kaim says, continuing to unload vegetables and fruit. You'll be leaving when you save up enough money, probably. But you don't have enough yet. I'm getting there, he says, turning a strange smile on the girl. This is a white lie of his own. He already has enough money to support himself on the road. Nor has he taken his current live-in job because he needs money so badly. He's here because he's not found a destination he wants to travel to. A journey without a destination is an endless journey. Wise men say you need dreams and goals in life, but dreams to accomplish and goals to realise shine as guideposts in life, precisely because life is finite. So then what should the dreams and goals of one who's been burdened with a life that has no end be? Kaim's is not a journey to be hurried. Nor is it one that can be hurried. Perhaps drifting day after day with no destination cannot even be called a journey. If I were you, says the girl, I would get out of this marketplace as soon as I'd saved up enough for 2 or 3 days of travelling. Kaim responds to her with a silent pained smile. What would be the look on the girl's face if Kaim were to tell her, I'm staying here for you? I'm finding the meaning of my life for now and providing you with a listener for your lies. The moment these words come to mind, words he can never actually speak to her, the girl looks round furtively and says in a near whisper, If you want to get out of here soon, I know a good way you can do it. A good way? Sneak into the tailor's and steal his money. There's a little pot in the cabinet at the back of the shop. It's full of money. Are you telling me to steal it? Yes. She looks straight at Kaim without the slightest show of doubt in her eyes. Oh well. I know this girl, a good friend of mine, she says, and it's so sad about her. Her mother died and her father went off to work in the capital and she's all alone. Her father was supposed to come and get her after 6 months, but she hasn't heard a thing from him. Yet another lie born of sorrow. I didn't get time to read the page before. Kaim calmly asks, is there some connection between your friend and the tailor? Of course, she says, a close connection. What's really happening is the father was sending her money every month the way he was supposed to help make her life in town a little easier. And he kept writing to her. He wanted to tell her he found a good job in the city and she should come to live with him right away. He's too busy to come for her, so she should come to him. And he sent her money for the trip. None of the letters or the money ever reached the girl. And why do you think that is? Oh. Before Kaim can answer, the girl says, the mistake he said was to send the letters and money care of the tailor. He's been keeping all the money for himself. Kaim looks away from the girl. In order to prop up one sad lie, she's piled on a still sadder one. A lie that can hurt another person. This is the saddest thing of all. The lock on the tailor's back door would be really easy to break, the girl says, and she gallops away without waiting for Kaim's reply. The girl comes running into the grocery store the next morning, shouting for the owner. She says directly to the woman, not to Kaim, burglars broke into the tailor's shop last night. She says she saw a number of burglars sneaking in late at night after the marketplace emptied out. My oh my, says the woman with a forced smile. That must have been just terrible. She's obviously not taking the girl seriously. But it's true though, I really saw them. Look, little girl, I've had just about all I can take from you. You're such a little liar, it scares me to death to think about you growing up to be a burglar or a con artist or something. I'm busy trying to open my shop now, do you mind? Try it on somebody else. She's hardly through speaking when someone outside shouts, Help! Someone help! The tailor's standing in the street looking horrified and screaming at the top of his lungs. But burglars, they took all my money! The little girl slips away as the tailor comes in. The marketplace is in an uproar. The girl was not lying, that much is certain. But, all too accustomed to her lies, people now suggest the possibility of another kind of lie. Maybe she did it, what do you think? And so it begins. I think he may be right. Talk about play acting, I wouldn't put it past her. Let's go find her, we'll make her tell, even if we have to get a little rough with her. No one objects to this suggestion. Some run off to the storehouse, and others start searching the marketplace. Can't find her anywhere. The storehouse is empty. She ran away with the money. As the searchers return with their reports and speculation, Kaim finally understands everything. After all her sad lies, the girl's left behind one final truth. She shouldn't have gotten very far. Yeah, we can still catch her. The little thief, wait till I get my hands on her. The men rage and the women fan the flames. Good, give her what she deserves. We were so nice to her, now look how she repays us. We can't let her get away with it. A dozen men start to run after her, but Kime stands tall in the road, blocking their way. Hey, move it! The men are out for blood, but Kime knows if he felt like it, he could knock them all down and they wouldn't be able to lay a finger on him. Instead, he relaxes his powerful stance and throws a leather coin pouch on the ground in front of the men. The stolen money's in there, he says. What? Sorry, I stole it. The confused stir quickly turns into angry shouts. Kime raises his hands to show he will not resist. Do what you like with me, I'm ready. The lady grocer breaks through the wall of men, shouting at him. How could you do this, Kime? I wanted the money, that's all. And you're not just saying this to protect the girl? The woman's intuition is too sharp. Forcing a smile, Kime turns to the tailor and says, It was in the pot in the cabinet, right? The man nods energetically. It's true, he must have done it. I had the money in a pot, he's the thief. The money wasn't the only thing in the pot, though. Was it? What are you saying? You had some letters in there, too. Letters from the girl's father. That's a lie, don't be crazy. It's true, though. No, there couldn't have been any letters. I threw them all... Taylor claps his hand over his mouth, but it's too late. The lady grocer glares at him. What's this all about, she demands. No, I mean... Better tell us everything. The people's angry glances turn from Kime to the tailor. Some days later, 2 letters arrive from the girl, addressed to the lady at the grocery store and the nice man upstairs. Kime's letter says the girl managed to find her father in the capital. He has no way of knowing if this is true or not. It's hard to imagine a little girl finding her father in the big city so easily without knowing his address or workplace. Still, he decides to believe it when the girl's letter says, I am happy now. Human beings are the only animals that lie. Lies to deceive people, lies to benefit oneself, and lies to protect one's own heart from the threat of crushing loneliness and sorrow. If there are no lies in this world, much strife and misunderstanding would surely disappear. On the other hand, perhaps it's because this world is a mixture of truth and lies that people have learned how to believe. When he's through reading his letter, Kime turns to the woman. Concentrating on her own letter, she shyly raises her head when she senses Kime looking at her. I give up, she declares. Listen to this. I'm so grateful to you and the others in the marketplace for all you've done for me. I'll never forget you as long as I live. A liar to the bitter end, that girl, she says, smiling through her tears. The end. Another interesting story. Every one of them has a kind of emotional tie, doesn't it? Anyway, we can wake up, we can continue on now. So at this point, there's not much more we can do apart from continue our journey. To do that, we will first save our game. There is fairly soon, I believe, going to be a pretty big boss fight, so... And I'm not sure that I've set up my characters exactly right to deal with it. Because there's still an awful lot of skills that need to be learned. He still hasn't learned anti-poison. I'm hoping maybe one more fight will have him learn that skill. But for the moment we can go out now. Let's exit here and continue. There we go. There's the northern ridge. What can we find around here? Anything useful? Oh, there's some rocks arranged in a formation. Oh yeah, look, that gives us something. A mana herb. So look out for more rocks laying around in that kind of formation. Oh, that's not anything. So I know that we're close to a boss fight here.
The air feels humid.
Well, it's not going to rain. I know the weather. I have a sense about these things.
He knows the weather and he knows it's not going to rain.
Peeling off the clothes. Trust me.
He hopes. He wishes.
Oh, great. It's raining. What'd I say? It's going to rain. I knew it. Hey.
It is, you liar. Rain. Oh, we've got a scene at Ura. Let's see what's happening. It's hard to know who to trust in this game as well. Because Gongora acts like a friend, but clearly he isn't. And this guy, well, he's even more troubling. He's not even eating anything.
You're dismissed.
The look on her face. Oh, thank goodness.
Lord
Oh!
Gongora, please wait.
What's going on? Oh!
Gongora, what are you doing? A moment, please.
The food, what's wrong with it? Oh, there's a little mouse thing that's gonna eat.
What is going
Gonna,
on, Gongora?
what, taste the soup?
Answer me.
Is it soup?
The council has placed you under house arrest.
Yeah.
Behold.
I don't think anyone can be trusted, to be honest. Behold, a mouse eating soup. And dying. He was poisoned. With some kind of thing that turned in, that would have a plant implanted inside him.
Gongora, what is the meaning of this?
Well, I would say it's pretty obvious.
But I...
Well, yeah, it'd be better if there wasn't a monarchy restored to her, but...
While some fools completely support our current republic, there are also those who long to restore a powerful monarchy.
Yeah, I'm sure there are,
What your highness may desire, our
but
country
that doesn't necessarily mean they're right.
the past and the present. You must be aware of this. Fortunately, I was able to sense your danger through magic energy. Even though I am under house arrest, I could not allow you to be harmed. There are many ways I can secretly move from my manor to yours, your highness.
But if Roxian knew you had been out of your home, you would be subject to even tighter restrictions.
I can look after myself.
I, however, cannot. Had you not come, I would have ended up like that mouse.
You would have ended up like the mouse, yeah.
You can always rely on me, your highness.
But maybe he did it.
Thank
What
you.
better way
Thank you.
to get you on his side than to poison your food and then rescue you? Maybe I'm reading too much into it. It's just the maid, though, that fed him it.
Well done.
Oh well, would you look at that?
We'll have to push him hard.
Was I wrong?
I'll be in touch when the time comes.
Safe to say, no, we were not. Tricksy he is. And we are now in the rain, which is going to make it harder for us to see if we can find any of these rocks that are lying around. 'Cause it's raining. And now it's windy. And I can't see if there's any of these rocks around. Now we have to be careful here because we do need to have been learning these skills. But we have a dream. Now I suppose we can... I don't think we get a choice. We'll do this dream as well. It's mostly dreams so far. Let's see, what's this one? The upstream. Oh, the upstreamers. Okay. Let's see what this story's about then. Strong winds have always blown across this vast grassy plain. Perhaps the area's topography has something to do with it, but the direction of the wind remains constant, irrespective of the time or season. from east to west, from the horizon where the sun rises to the horizon where the sun sets. Swept by the unceasing winds, the misshapen trunks and branches of shrubs all incline to the west. Tall grasses do not grow here, and the grasses that do grow all lie flat on the ground, bending westward. Caravans and herding folk traverse the single road that crosses the plain. They do not come and go, they only go, moving from east to west, using the wind at their backs to gain distance. Travellers heading west to east always use the circuitous route that snakes around the southern mountains. It is much further that way, but it's easier than crossing the plain head on into the wind. The road across the plain is called the wind stream. Just as the flow of a great river never changes direction, the footsteps of those who use the road have not changed direction since the distant past, nor are they likely to change far into the distant future from east to west. Human shapes that appear from the horizon where the sun rises disappear over the horizon where the sun sets. They never pass oncoming travellers, with only the rarest exceptions. The first time she passed Kaim on the wind stream, the girl was just an infant. "Is my grandmother alive then?" In response to the girl's untroubled question, Kaim smiles and answers, "She was. And I remember what a nice old lady she was too." Looking back down the road, the girl points toward the line of hills fading off into the distance. "My grandmother crossed 7 hills on her journey." "Is 7 a lot?" "Uh-huh. Grandma lived a long time. Most people end their journeys after 5 hills. People they leave behind build a little grave where they ended their journey and then they keep travelling." The girl points down at the ground where she's standing. "This is as far as I've come," she says with a proud, happy smile. The religion of the girl and her family professes a pious belief that if they devote their lives to walking eastward against the flow of the wind stream, they'll arrive at the easternmost source of the stream itself. People call believers in that religion the upstreamers, obviously. The word carries a hint of fear and sadness, but also a trace of contempt and scorn. The upstreamers are devoid of worldly desires. They live their lives for no greater purpose than travelling eastward on foot. They're free of doubt. They give birth to children en route, and they continue their journey while raising their children. When they age and their strength gives out, their journey ends. But their family journey continues. From child to grandchild to great-grandchild, their belief is carried on. The journey of this girl's family was begun by her late grandmother, who began walking from the wind stream's western verge with her son, who was then the age the girl is now. The upstreamers do not walk for the entire year, of course. During the season when the winds are especially strong, from late autumn to early spring, they take up residence in various post towns scattered along the road and earn day wages by performing tasks that the townsfolk themselves refuse to do. Some upstreamers choose to stay in the towns, while others conversely take the townspeople with them when they return to the road in the spring. These are people with whom they've fallen in love during the long winter, or boys who dream of travel, or grown-ups who have tired of town life. Such are the reasons for the townsfolk. The townsfolk look upon the upstreamers with complicated gazes. The little girl's mother was one of those who joined the journey midway, and the girl herself, some years from now, might fall in love with someone in a post town somewhere. She might choose to live in the town, or she could just as well invite her lover to join her on the road. She has no idea at this point what lies in store for her. Does anyone? Like, really? The girl's father calls out to her, "Time to go!" Their brief rest is over. She seems sorry to leave and stands up reluctantly. "Too bad," she says. "I wish I could have talked with you more, but we have to get to the next town by the time the snows start." Constantly exposed to headwinds, her cheeks are red and cracked. Her lips chapped, but her smile is wonderful as she wishes Kaim a safe journey. It is the serene smile of one who believes completely in the purpose of her life, without the slightest doubt. "Will I see you again somewhere?" she asks. "Probably." Kaim answers, smiling back at her, but he can never match that smile of hers. He's now in the midst of a journey that will take him beyond the western end of the wind stream. He heads to the battlefield as a mercenary, and by the time the western battle is over, a new battle will have begun in the east. It'll be a long, cruel journey with nothing to believe in. When he meets the girl again along the way, Kaim's smile will have taken on even more shadows than before. Perhaps as a parting gift of sorts, the girl sings a few short lines for him. This wind, where does it blow from? Where does it start its journey here? Does it come from where life begins? Or does it begin where life ends? Goodbye then, the girl says, trudging on, one laboured step at a time. Can't see after that. In the headwind. 10 long years have flowed by when Kaim meets the girl next. It's spring, and the grassland is dotted with lovely white flowers. She's become the wife of a young man who does tailoring and shoe repair in one of the post towns, and who steals little girls' money and letters. Well, maybe not. This is my third spring here, she says, patting her swollen belly fondly. In a few days she'll give birth to a child, she'll become a mother. And your parents? Kaim asks. She shrugs and glances eastward. They're continuing their journey, I'm the only one who stayed on here. Kaim does not ask why she's done this. Continuing the journey is one way to live, and staying in a town is another. Neither can be judged to be more correct than the other. The only answer from the girl can be seen in her smiling face. I feel like I need to move that chat window, but it gets in the way of something regardless, wherever I put it. But never mind about me, she says, looking at him suspiciously. You haven't changed one little bit from the time we met so long ago. For a 1,000-year-old Kaim, 10 years is nothing but a change in season. Some lives are like that, he says, straining to smile. Some people in this world can never grow old, no matter how long they live. He looks at the girl now grown into a woman and wonders again, living through endless ages of time, is it a blessing or a curse? Kaim's remark hardly counts as an explanation, but the little girl nods, but she's not a little girl anymore. The look of apparent understanding. If that's the case, she says, you should be the one who goes to the place where the wind begins. You'd be the perfect upstreamer. She could be right. After all, the lifespan given to humans is far too short for anyone to travel against the flow of the wind stream as far as the starting point of the wind. Still, Kaim responds with a few slow shakes of his head. I'm not qualified to make the journey. No, anybody can be an upstreamer. Anybody that is who wants to see where the wind starts with his or her own eyes. Having said this, however, the girl adds with a touch of sadness. No one has actually seen it though, I guess. The place where the wind begins, that place is nowhere at all. Even if, after a long journey, one were to arrive at the eastern end of the wind stream, the wind would be blowing there too, and not just an east wind, west wind, north wind, south wind. Winds without limit, without end. Human beings who cannot live forever, daring to take a journey without end, this might be the ultimate tragedy, but it could just as well be the ultimate comedy. Kaim knows one thing, however. One cannot simply walk into Mordno. I don't know what that says, but it's where it is, sorry. That causes a bit of a problem, doesn't it? I should have brought up a thing that tells me what they say. How about you, he asks the girl, aren't you going to continue your journey soon? She thinks about this for the space of a breath, and caressing her swollen belly, she cocks her head and says, I wonder, I might want to go on living the way I am now forever, or then again, I might feel that desire to reach the starting point of the wind. All the upstreamers, without exception, say that you can never know what might trigger a return to the journey. One day, without warning, you slough off the entire town life and start walking slough. I don't know. It's not always a matter of running into an upstreamer and being lured back to the road. Plenty of people set out on their own all of a sudden. The teachings of the upstreamers say that all human beings harbour a desire for endless travel. They probably are not aware of this desire because it's stashed away so far down in the breast it is deeper than memory. The instant something brings it to the surface, a person becomes an upstreamer. Even you have the desire, the girl says to Kaim. I wonder. It's true, she says. No question. The look in her eyes is as straight on and free of doubt as it was the last time he met her. Fixing him with that look, she points to her own chest. I haven't completely lost it myself. But I'm sure you're happy with your present life. Of course I am. Do you really think the day will come when you'll want to set out on the journey even if it means giving up that happiness? Instead of answering, she gives him a gentle smile. Many years flow by, but every now and then something reminds Kaim of the girl's words. That everyone harbours a desire for endless travel. For Chaim, living itself is a journey without end. In the course of his journey, he has witnessed countless deaths, also witnessed countless births. Human life is all too short, too weak and fleeting, yet the more he dwells upon its evanescence, the more he feels inexplicably that words such as eternal and perpetual apply more properly to life, finite as it is, than to anything else. Travelling down the windstream for the first time in many years, Chaim spies the funeral of an upstreamer. A young boy in the mourning dress stands by the road, holding out wildflowers to passing travellers and urging them to offer up a flower to a noble soul who has made the long journey thus far. Chaim takes a flower and asks the boy, "Is it a member of your family?" "Uh-huh, my grandma." The boy nods, his face the image of one Chaim knew so long ago. The old woman lying in her coffin must be the girl. Chaim's sure of it. Grandma travelled a long, long time. She brought my daddy with her when he was just a little boy. See that hill over there? She started walking from way, way beyond it, and she got all the way here. So the girl must have set out on her journey after all, turning her back on the town life, leading her child by the hand. She trod her way along the endless journey. Her wish to aim for the place where the wind begins would be passed on to her child, her grandchild, and on through succeeding generations. To head for a land one could never hope to reach, and to do so generation after generation. This is another endless journey. Is it a tragedy? A comedy? Perhaps the serene smile on the face of the old woman in the coffin is the answer. Chaim lays the flower at her feet as an offering. The family members who have travelled with her join together in a song for the departed. I don't know a tune to this, so I can't sing it. But this wind, where does it blow from? Where does it start its journey here? Does it come from where life begins, or does it begin where life ends? Well, you'll never know, will you? The wind blows, it sweeps across the vast grassland. Chaim takes one long, slow step towards his destination. "Have a good trip," calls the boy. Red and cracked as the girls were so long ago, his cheeks softened in a smile as he waves to the departing traveller. The end. Right, so we can continue on now. Having read another story. Oh, got a battle as well. Right, hopefully Chaim now will learn this skill so we can pass it on to Seth. So we need to do that quickly-ish. Alright, front row first. Let me see here. Yeah, so there is a defense level. So if we take the cliffhanger down first, but what I will do is if I use some flare magic on these diacorns in the meantime. I didn't. I failed. Those things do quite a bit of damage. There, that one's perfect. And that one's dead. And that's dead, so now I bet it's going to cast its ground magic on us. And it's good for Chaim. Just a regular attack, I think. 2 attacks should be enough. Yeah. It's gone. It's dead. Because I'm hoping Chaim will learn the skill now. No, he hasn't yet. This skill has taken a long time to learn. Still do have that equipped, don't I? Yeah, so why is it taking so long? Because we're not getting very many SP. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, it must be this way then. Another battle.
Man, getting old real quick.
It is, but it'll help us. Oh, we've got these flying ones now. So I am going to... Yeah. So those unicorn things are still... Right, if they do a physical attack on that, and he does his wind attack on the second one, and that should be enough to take them down, I hope. Yep. Okay. So you can hit that with wind, that'll kill that in one shot. Leaving this unicorn, diacorn, whatever you want to call it, Popcorn, I don't know. Ah, we got a perfect on that one. And on that one. And it's dead. Nice and easy, no trouble. Good. Right, have you learned that skill yet? Yes, there we go. So Kime's learned that. Jansen's learned factual analysis. Kime's learned anti-poison. Good. So now we can go to the equipment options. Basically, because you want to give them these so that you can learn all of these skills. So he needs to learn guard heal, and she needs to learn the anti-poison. She needs to get 20 SP to do that. Right, but that's fine. Jansen, what's he learned? So, he's learned some skills. He's learned a skill, but his skills are all pretty filled up. Oh yeah, because when he learns the skill it stays. You see? When we learn it, it takes a while. Okay, that is what we need to do right now. So he needs to learn the guard thing skill. We get up here? No. I believe there is a boss fight fairly soon. So we have to be careful, we don't want to get too close. I'm pretty sure it's at the other side of this route, this mountain area. And we don't want to go too far because I'm not sure that I'm ready to actually do it yet. You can see, you know those stone cairn things? I don't see them. Am I going to get attacked by anything? I know there's a boss fight coming and I know that I'm underprepared for it. I actually can't remember where it is. Is that one of those rock formations? Yeah, there we go. We get from that an angel's plume. Very exciting. Yeah, see, I'm sure that up here is a boss fight, and I don't know that I want to. I'm not sure that I want to do that yet, but the trouble is I can't. Spells. Use your healing spell, just to make sure that everyone's well topped up. See, I don't want to go there yet. I'm pretty sure if I go up that way, that will take me to where the boss fight is. Don't think I want to do that yet. Oh no, maybe I'm okay. I think I can get up to the top of here without too much concern. But there's a boss fight basically at the other side of this. I should rather not take part in if I can help it.
Ugh, that's nasty. Cover your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Freeze in here. Hey, turn around.
Yeah, let's not.
Whoa, what a view.
Yeah, it's a great view. There's the Grand Staff.
The Grand Staff.
Oh, that grandstand.
Well, if you know of another one, please
Extra magic energy. The staff
let us know. Mm-hmm.
I've seen that. I've seen that somewhere.
He's seen it somewhere.
Where?
Is it in a dream? No. To this. Whatever this is. Yes. He doesn't remember. What a surprise.
Memory's coming back. No. Maybe what you've forgotten you're remembering.
Maybe.
Well, excuse me for helping.
You're just hoping that you get to use whatever that was you were given.
Fine. Look at the view. I'm gonna go ahead and fix everything. You just
What?
talk amongst yourselves.
No, you're not. No, don't go anywhere. Where are you going?
You really seen this before?
What do you mean by that?
Just what I said. Do you feel like
Yeah,
you've seen
have
this
you really seen it before? I think that's a pretty simple question.
Just trying to be a friend.
Uh-huh. I'm sure you are.
But I thought you... Forget it.
Hey. All right, come on, you two. I thought we were in a rush.
Yeah, this is the boss fight. I think I'm too late to level everything up as it should be. That's a bit of a problem. Well, actually, it might not be, because...
This does not look good.
I think... Just trying to think, we've got the skills. Yeah, we do. Let me just think. Yeah, so this isn't actually the boss I was thinking of anyway. But basically what we need to do is they have to defend. And then he has to use flare spell. Now they should be protected from being poisoned. The trouble is that really it would have been ideal if he'd been protected from being poisoned. See, he's not. He's got the skill. Did I not assign the skill? Hang on a minute. I can't change the skill either. That's a problem. Well, it's not, because I mean all I need to do is use the antidote on him while he's there. And then she defends, and then he casts Flare again.
Okay.
Because he most definitely needs to hit the antidote, I'm afraid. That's just a regular hit there by the look of things. Good. Okay, so again we defend. Defend, because basically our physical attacks are almost no use against him. And Jansen has a much stronger attack against this creature. He also does this nasty little attack. So we need to be careful. I don't think it takes a lot of damage to kill this, but I'm just looking. I think I'm going to need to... We're going to really need to look into healing people, I think. Jansen's going to be doing the most damage, so I need her to defend. Yeah, no, just defend. Basically, Flare's about the only one that's any use against him. Ouch. He's actually dead. Which means that's a bit of a problem. Do we have... Try and wake him up. I think... Yeah, no, we can't actually do that just yet. Yeah, I don't think we were actually prepared for this battle. Yeah, I mean, he's going to die the instant. Yeah. See, now we're in trouble. Now we're in serious trouble. And it's because I wasn't actually... I hadn't leveled everything up perfectly yet. I'm going to have to attack now. I need him to be awake. But also, I'm going to need her to be healed. Got no choice.
Okay.
And the trouble is, it gets to attack before anything else happens.
That was close.
See, it's going to use this again. And given that nobody's actually defending, now I'm just stuck. Because the only ability we've got that's really going to do him enough damage is that, you see. And just as we think that he's... I can't beat this. I don't think I can beat this guy.
Okay.
Because I haven't leveled up those skills enough. And I'm wasting all these angel plumes. Because everyone's just gonna get knocked out. All I'm doing by doing that is increasing his damage. Okay, this is a problem. I've only got 5 MP. I need to heal somebody. Has to be Jansen. And then hopefully she can heal herself enough. Trouble is, I'm not sure we can win this fight now. I mean, that's going to help her a little bit, but not enough. And he's going to die before he gets a chance to do it again. Yeah, we can't do this. We actually can't do this. This is my last Angel's Plume. Physical attacks are useless.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm doing this, but he's going to be dead again before... You see, there's like no damage to it. But, I mean, essentially, possibly a good thing is that... right, I need him to be healed, so I'm going to have to get both of them to heal him. It's the only option I've got. I think we're probably going to have to reload the save, to be honest, and right, he should survive the next attack. Just. And do a bit of damage to it, but it's still not enough to kill it. And now they need to heal each other, to be honest. In fact, Jansen, I need to heal Jansen, which is quite annoying. And she can heal herself too. I don't even want to waste anything on searching to see how much damage I've done to it. Really, like using the skills to learn that. Basically, we're going to waste all our healing medicines. And that's any attack that we thought we could do done now. He's dead, we don't have anything else to bring him back to life. So we're not going to survive this anymore. Try this flare bomb on him.
Okay.
But basically, unless one of these attacks kills it, yeah, we're dead. Seems like every time we hit it with something like that, just trying to think here. There's really not much we can do apart from just keep trying to attack him. But I think probably because I wasn't quite prepared. I see, the trouble is, it's going to use this attack. It's going to kill both of them. Yeah, there we go. Right, so lesson learned there is we need to level up our skills a bit more before we come up here. Which means we probably need to like wander around on that hillside a bit longer and do a few more battles. We will retry from the last checkpoint. But where's the last checkpoint? Right, don't go up there. We do not want to go up there. Go back down. See, the trouble is... Let me just check something. Because first of all, He should have had those skills equipped. He didn't. He didn't have anti-poison learned. And in his actual skill set, 'cause I didn't actually do it. She's got guard heal as an option. Now you see... Just thinking here. Yeah, okay. So we need to fight a few more battles because we need to level up those skills. So here we go. The only trouble is we don't have a... See, the trouble is we can't save. Right, let's try and level up these skills as fast as possible. Get rid of this cliffhanger. Try and use physical attacks more than magic, because I want to try and conserve magic. Basically, we needed to have learned and wasn't looking and linked those skills. The trouble is, these things can do some pretty nasty damage to you. I wasn't paying attention. And it isn't actually dead. That's good enough. To finish the battle? No, it shouldn't, because I forgot there was another one. Oh, it's going to get its ground magic on us first. The best things for us to do... Oh, I didn't hit it quickly enough. Doesn't matter, we did it. Okay, so we're going to try and just see if we can level up some of these skills for a little while. Trouble is, I don't know how long that's going to take. Going back into the wind again. Oh look, there's another one of those. Oh, healing medicine. Good call. Yeah, I feel like we need to kind of go back and forth on here until we level those skills up enough. There we go. Might be a case of heading back towards the last save area and then walking back up again. These dagger birds need to go first. Wait, but she can use... And if we do that, if we walk back to the last save area, then actually... that should be useful. Wow, we actually killed that in one hit. They do not do very much damage though. Not an ideal thing to cast on that actually. When you think about it, is it? So yeah, not a great start to the first boss fight there, really. We didn't upgrade any skills yet. Let's just have a quick look. I need him to learn that as fast as possible. It's almost there. Well, because then I can... Oh, also she needs to learn the antidote one, as quick as possible. I don't think we can actually go any further. Yeah, we can, that's fine. I was going to say, I don't think we can go any further, but we could. So yeah, we'll walk back down to the mountain, you know, the house place. Cabin, it said, wasn't it? And save our game. Doing that will mean that the next time we restart, we'll have full health and all the rest, and we can make our way up the hill again. But yeah, I feel like I want to be able to save this with us leveled up nicely. Although I feel like as well, if I had that antidote thing turned on... Right. Oh, another battle. But if we do this, it means we can get to the save point. Which makes sense. We go up and down using the save point. It will allow us to cliffhangers in the front row. But he can use... they use ground. So potentially... Yeah, let's try that just for fun. Yeah, I realise it uses much more magical power, but I want to just try it. Flames would obviously work best, or flare should I say, would obviously work best against this thing. It's dead now, so it doesn't matter. He's going to cast ground. Yeah, continue with your spell. Probably not going to get a chance to cast it now. We'll probably kill this thing before he has the opportunity. Oh, he got hurt. That was bad. That didn't matter because we destroyed that anyway. Why did you cast that spell? Oh, there was another one. I didn't know there was another one. Yeah, see, they're actually taking quite a bit of damage. But we should be able to take this one down without too much trouble. This should be enough. Yeah. No, tell me that he's learned that skill. Nope, he still hasn't learned the skill. So presumably one more... Oh, well, wait a minute. If I look, it'll tell me. No, it won't. Okay then. Well, regardless, what we're doing here anyway is we're going inside to save our game. And at that point, well, we'll finish up for tonight. But next time we'll be ready for that guy. We'll probably level up a bit first, but yeah, we'll be ready for that guy. So for now, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Keep an eye out for my next stream. Head over to Twitter, twitter.com/Supernautus. There you'll find out when I'm going live. That's twitter.com/Supernautus, by the way. Try not pronouncing it in a silly way. So yeah, twitter.com/Supernautus. There you'll find out when I'm going live. If you're interested in watching my older streams, the first part of this, and all the other games that I've played, head over to YouTube, search for Supernautus Streams, and there you'll find all my previous videos. If you'd like to drop a sub there, that'd be great, and remember to hit that bell for notifications whenever a new video does come up. Also pass it on to your friends if you like, or think they might enjoy it. For now, that's all we need to do tonight. As I say, thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy your company always, and good night for now, when I eventually disconnect the stream. Thank you.